You all know something about the history of broadcasting. So you know that throughout the ages, talk of the demise of radio has often been greatly exaggerated. The fact is, radio today is as popular as ever. Public radio has more than 30 million listeners a week. In addition, streaming music sites are booming in popularity. This is a crowded and popular online space. Everyone from Google, Apple, Pandora, they're in the game. You know, it's really no surprise to me that radio is this popular and is having this kind of renaissance. The fact is, radio has always adapted and overcome. Oh, wait a minute, we're in the Valley. Let me translate, I speak a little Valley. Radio has always iterated through radical collaboration. All right, so it wasn't always that radical. Rest in peace, the AM/FM 8-track, available at garage sales around the country. What hooked me on radio was the power of the human voice and sound to mix together, and when done right, it could transport the listener, whether it was the sound of a battlefield or a ball field or protesters in the street trying to topple a dictator. If done well, we could take you there, we could transport you and give you a sense of presence in the news. A big challenge, as I see it, for my field, public radio, is to try to do more to carve out innovative spaces that prioritize audio for mobile. Make no mistake about it. Right now, this is an on-demand streaming revolution that threatens to overthrow the tyranny of the show format clock just as surely as it will erase the distinction between on-air and online. The fact is that distinction is fading and is set to become largely irrelevant as cars become even more fully internet connected in the very near future. So how does public radio respond to this on-demand revolution? One way is to give listeners the chance to create their own playlist if they have the time and inclination to do that. Another is to embrace the algorithm and let code act as your serendipitous guide and host through the stream. Those are important tools, and I support them. But I also think there is room for a third way that has a little bit more of a personal touch. I call them CommuteCast and MashCast. These are custom curated mini casts that are tailored for the mobile listener. Think of them as kind of mini podcasts tailored to your mobile device. What I want to do is take the NPR feed, mash it up a bit, mix it with original content, follow it up with interviews and stories. My two that I've been working on as a Knight Fellow here at Stanford, I call MashCast and CommuteCast. MashCast is my mix of the best public radio features of the week, again, mixed with some original content. And CommuteCast is my step-back look at the week's top news, mixed with interviews geared, again, towards the mobile audience. You can hear some of our initial beta mixes of MashCast at soundcloud.com, and by the end of this summer, be available on the News Now app for your iPhone. Now, the fact is, when it's done right, the pictures can be better on radio. I fell in love with radio as a little boy, 7-year-old, listening to baseball games late at night. I should have been doing my homework, I guess. Sorry, Mom. The fact is, I'd listen to a Mets broadcast and it would transport me to the ballpark. I remember sitting there and the best announcers, they'd narrate, but they'd know when to be quiet and let the sound of the game just wash over me. You know, I think about those nights when I first caught the radio bug, when I'm thinking about the current disruption in radio and the on-demand revolution. And I want to work to keep the power of voice and sound in the forefront for this and other experiments going forward. Thank you.